Iran has emerged as an unexpected trailblazer in the world of sniper rifles, with a one-of-a-kind anti-materiel rifle of unparalleled firepower, named after the legendary Arash the Archer. This weapon wields 20mm high-explosive rounds, the same caliber as the lethal M61 Vulcan gun found on many of today's modern aircraft. It can tear through armored vehicles and enemy emplacements with devastating force. Iran's tests reveal the Arash in action, the operator carrying the 45-pound rifle, which is as long as he is tall. The colossal muzzle brake is barely enough to tame the ferocious recoil of its 20mm cartridge, and the shooter must use the bipod just to keep the weapon and himself in place. Appearances, however, can be deceiving. Despite its imposing stature, the Arash adheres to the tried-and-true Iranian doctrine of shoot and scoot, specifically devised for deployment by nimble two-man motorcycle teams. But while Iran's brainchild surpasses the American rifle it drew inspiration from, the Barrett M82, in both power and sheer devastation, the question remains whether its size works against it and how it compares to the world's top sniper rifles. Iran has struggled with its military industry since it lost support from the United States during the Iranian Revolution of 1979. The movement led to the overthrow of the Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, who had been a close ally of the United States during the crucial years of the Cold War. The revolts, led by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, established an Islamic Republic in Iran. Coupled with the hostage crisis at the UN embassy in Tehran, the two countries quickly distanced each other, completely severing diplomatic ties in April 1980. From then on, Iran's military quickly lost effectiveness. The country's army, navy, and air force declined rapidly. From being one of the most powerful in the Middle East, Iran's military began to struggle with spare parts, ammunition, and basic maintenance for weapons, equipment, and vehicles. The road downhill for Iran has remained that way ever since, just like its relationship with the United States, which was further strained by Operation Praying Mantis in April 1988. Nonetheless, Iran has attempted to keep its military up to date with Russian weaponry and equipment, while also trying to kick off its own military industry to make its troops independent from foreign powers. As part of this ongoing effort, Iran announced in the early 2010s the development of a unique sniper rifle that blended the lethal long-range capabilities of the American Light 50 Barrett M82 sniper rifle and a heavy anti-materiel rifle. The end result was dubbed the Arash, a Persian name that honors the mythical archer from Iranian mythology. The Arash is a one-of-a-kind sniper rifle developed by a country that has surprised the world with alleged military innovations that have not always materialized, or at the very least, are just reverse-engineered versions of American weaponry, such as the case of Iran's Qaher 313 single-seat stealth fighter aircraft, a project that has dragged on and is heavily inspired by several American and Russian fighters. The same occurs with the Arash sniper rifle. The semi-automatic rifle was first designed in 2011. Over 1,200 have been produced in the last decade. More importantly, few of them have ever seen combat, which may provide a hint of the rifle's lackluster performance. The most notable characteristics of the Arash are its size and weight. The sniper is just too big to handle for several reasons. First, it has a length of around 180 centimeters, or 71 inches, with an approximate weight of 20 kilograms, or 44 pounds, including a magazine. In comparison, the American M82A1 Barrett anti-materiel rifle has a weight that ranges from 29 to 33 pounds and a length between 48 and 57 inches. The Arash sniper features a pistol grip and a strange-looking buttstock that, for a sniper, rests on the shooter's shoulder, like how a rocket-propelled grenade or RPG launcher is held. In addition, the rifle also features a forward bipod that helps the shooter remain accurate. Besides the gun's scope and overall design, the similarities between the Arash and a typical sniper rifle are almost non-existent. Furthermore, the Arash is more similar to a bullpup configuration than most conventional semi-automatic sniper rifles. In a bullpup configuration, the magazine is inserted behind the trigger assembly. In the case of the Arash, the magazine is located even further away, behind the shooter's back. To make the ergonomics more awkward, one could only imagine how the shooter would be able to reload the weapon effectively and safely in an active combat scenario without risking his life or compromising his concealed position. The Arash rifle uses a 20mm round, possibly the 20 by 102mm high explosive incendiary or HEI round. Given its sheer firepower, this large caliber round is generally employed for the anti-materiel role, not against human targets. This is often used with great effect against lightly armored vehicles, buildings, or fortifications. The US military uses the 20 by 102mm round with the M61 Vulcan rotary cannon. This 6-barreled cannon, inspired by the Civil War-era Gatling gun, was developed during the Cold War for use with jet aircraft, gunships such as the AC-130, and rotary wing aircraft such as the Huey and Cobra helicopters. Although these vehicles often targeted enemy placements and large concentrations of hostile troops, they were intended for use against vehicles and fortifications, not individual soldiers. The Arash's powerful 20mm high explosive round was developed to upgrade the 50 caliber Browning machine guns previously used by aircraft and vehicles during World War II. Although powerful, the 50 caliber lacked the range and stopping power to effectively engage enemy aircraft during the dogfights of the European and Pacific theaters. Still, there's a big difference between employing this high caliber round with aircraft guns and a semi-automatic rifle. When fired by a soldier, considerations must be made about the gun's recoil and its effect on the operator's shoulder. According to the information about the weapon's performance, the Arash has a muzzle velocity of over 1,050 meters per second and a maximum firing range of 3,000 meters. In addition to the cumbersome carry mount, reminiscent of an AR-15 platform, the oddly shaped stock, and the pistol grip, the Arash also features an interesting scope system. This scope provides a hint of Iran's reverse engineering feats gone wrong. For instance, just like the overall design of the gun, especially the Arash's cumbersome reload, the scope makes it stray from a traditional sniper rifle. It is almost impossible to get a clear view from the prone position through the scope, forbidding the shooter from adopting this position during combat operations and rendering a ghillie suit useless. The scope attachment is so high that an operator cannot adopt a comfortable position to see and shoot with precision. Adding to the ill-conceived ergonomics, the recoil also gets in the way of firing while prone. Another interesting detail of the Arash that can be appreciated from the footage is the inclusion of a ballistic computer placed on top of the scope mount. Iran has also cloned the Barrett Bores, or Barrett Optical Ranging System ballistic computer, employed by the 50 caliber M82 Barrett. The sophisticated system monitors the evaluation knob and can measure barometric pressure, rifle tilt, and air temperature to enhance the operator's precision before shooting. All in all, the design of the Arash proves it may somehow look like a sniper rifle or an anti-materiel rifle, but it is neither. To further alienate the arms industry, the Arash works more like a man-pads than the previously mentioned configurations. The Arash is operated by a two-man motorcycle team, following Iran's traditional shoot-and-scoot doctrine, in stark contrast to a conventional configuration of a sniper and his spotter. Although the Arash can, in theory, fire at ranges of up to 3,000 meters with a muzzle velocity that's higher than the M82 Barrett it got its inspiration from, it is far less effective against vehicles, buildings, and fortifications due to its terrible ergonomics, scope, and recoil pattern. On the other side, the Barrett remains a true, recoil-operated, semi-automatic anti-materiel rifle that allows the shooter to open fire with precision from a prone position with a 5 to 10 box magazine. Furthermore, the American rifle allows its operators to fire from concealed positions and reload without any issues that can compromise them. A sniper nest suffices to enhance the survivability of both sniper and spotter. Ultimately, the Arash may have surprised the Iranian national industry by developing a fully indigenous rifle heavily inspired by the American 50 caliber anti-materiel rifle. Still, it has failed to prove its worth on the battlefield. Like other Iranian weapon platforms, the Arash has become nothing more than an idea that sounds good in theory, but remains useless in practice and in active combat scenarios.